Here you can do things like modify the lights or change their color, but mostly you're just going to jump over here to the low poly tab. And this is where you're going to make a version that has geometry that's a little more topologically sound. I usually start by assuming I'll just take all the faces I can get. So I crank it way up. And then I've downloaded both of these so that you can see a comparison. Over here in Blender, you can see these two models right next to each other. This is the high poly one that originally comes out of the box, and this is the low poly one that we generated, or vice versa. Now when we go into here, it looks good, and they both look pretty similar, but the problem you run into is when you try to retopologize these, or set them up for success downstream. Now what you'll notice is when I hit tab and I go into edit mode here in Blender, if I select a chunk, it's sort of a composite of several chunks going together. And as a result, if you try to volumize this or somehow create something that's a little more clean that you can start using auto retopology on, it's going to give you problems. Meanwhile, this is the one that was generated with 100,000 polygons. You can see down here in the corner, 100,000. And there's still a couple problems. For one thing, although there's only one mesh chunk on any given part, some of them are not merged. So I might start by selecting all and hitting M, merge by distance. Next up, you have the problem of cleanup. A lot of this stuff is actually not something I want to use. So I'll select this single vertex and I'm going to switch to solid mode. I'm using edge mode here to basically just select from point A to point B, and I'm going to delete a lot of these things because this is the sort of thing where under the hood it could just be a filled circle. The player's never going to see it, and really we're just trying to get to some sort of manifold start where I can go from there. But oftentimes when you pull a clone like this, even if this is now manifold geometry, it's not manifold geometry in a way that really counts. What I would probably want is none of these interior things are ever going to be seen by a player. So that's the sort of thing where in the cleanup phase, you take a significant shortcut, but the work isn't done. So I'm select all the way around there. I might hit B, which will break that. Now in face mode, finish the selection. Perhaps I'll hit Control plus, break these faces, delete faces. Yeah, that'll do it. No, it's not doing it. Figuring out these problems can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. You might have to bug hunt a little bit at a time. Here I've selected these faces, but if I deleted them, for instance, I would hope that this would select only one shell going all the way under these interior faces, but instead it goes all the way around. And so somewhere in here is something causing me trouble. So maybe I can do things like just get rid of all this, so I don't care about these, knowing this for the sake of figuring out what these are. So now I can see somehow it goes inside this mesh. Yeah, right around here is my problem. So I do things like delete these faces, figuring out what these are. So now I can see somehow it goes inside this mesh. Yeah, right around here is my problem. So I do things like delete these faces. Control plus to grow the selection. You can see here where that problem is. Yeah, right around here, it ends up jumping to the inside. I'll just delete them. I don't need this tag. Right around here, and that's our problem, I hope. Yeah, right around here, it ends up jumping to the inside. I'll just delete them. I don't need this tag. Right around here, and that's our problem, I hope. Yeah, it's like a little puzzle solving these mesh conundrums. Looking at this, connects. There it is. So somewhere here is our last little chunk of problem geometry. And I think I've run into this many times over the years. We have to do something like import an STL into a project, or just somehow vector geometry. You do something like this. You don't even need these interior faces. At this point, I oftentimes hit F3 and I just search non-manifold. And sometimes you just hit F and it'll fill in. I click on that. So somewhere this is kind of another big manifold chunk. You know what that? No, that's what I don't want. So you head down, like, trying to find where does this chunk lead into these interior ones. Right over there, that's the end of it. You have diminishing returns, but the benefit is that eventually, when you try and repolymerize this, will solve all these problems. Hopefully, this is something that down the line you have some automatic repolymerize tools that are going to really speed this process up. But in the meantime, it's just something you're always going to have some edge case where you have to get a little dirty in polygons. I'll delete them. And that's our problem, I hope. So right around there, that's the next part. Yeah, it's always like a little puzzle solving these mesh conundrums. Looking at this, connects. There it is. So somewhere here is our last little chunk of problem geometry. And I think I've run into this many times over the years. We have to do something like import an STL into a project, or just somehow vector geometry. You do something like this. You don't even need these interior faces. Oftentimes hit F3 and I just search non-manifold. I want to make sure I'm hit with that. Let's just like these non-manifold chunks. And sometimes you just hit F and it'll fill in. I click on that. So somewhere this is kind of another big manifold chunk. You know what that? No, that's what I don't want. So you head down, like, trying to find where does this chunk lead into these interior ones. Right over there, that's the end of the thing. You have diminishing returns, but the benefit is that eventually, when you try and repolymerize this, will solve all these problems. Hopefully, this is something that down the line you have some automatic repolymerize tools that are going to really speed this process up. But in the meantime, it's just something you're always going to have some edge case where you have to get a little dirty in polygons. I'll delete them. Honestly, I don't care about any of this area. However, just delete these. Yeah, that's going to be the last of my interior problem, I hope. Once again, select my non-manifold. Let's check our X-ray. Yeah, this is the last little hole. So I'll hit F, not perfect geometry, and if I go back to material preview, I'm just saying the second scene with plug count of 5,000. Let's see what we got. Now this is great. Because this was so successfully cleaned up as far as the holes go, it was able to pull this much higher quality mesh. And this is the sort of thing that is almost ready to go into a game. I'm